He or she who stands for nothing falls for anything. That's an old cliche that we all are familiar with, but I don't know if we know just how true it is. If you do not have clean, set, concrete, foundational principles that you live your life by and govern your daily actions by, you will find yourself swayed to and fro, tossed here and there by unpredictable encounters with those who carry out the inward chaos that you live with. You can spend your life one of two ways: complaining about other people's misdeeds towards you that originate from your misthinking, or you can spend your life realigning yourself with the truth and facts based upon what the reflections in front of you reveal about the inside of you and the inner conversations that you entertain. Fourth toy that we refuse to put away in our toy chest would be the chauffeur knowledge effect. This would be us easily being swayed and misguided by those who pretend to be gurus and experts. To be honest, we are very, very familiar with following those who are not knowledgeable but presenting themselves as if they were experts. And we have a common history with being misled by those who know absolutely nothing but hold a belief that they do, and we also hold the belief that they do know all things. I say that very, very confidently because all of us have found ourselves starting statements of what we are fully under the impression to be factual with the words, I just feel. I hear what you're saying, but I just feel like X, Y, and Z. So you're going to play like that's a foreign statement. You're going to play like that's not a statement that you've heard countless times in front of you, or countless times within you, or countless times coming from out of you. I really hate that nobody taught us how to think. I really hate that nobody taught us how to manage our mental. I really hate that it was pushed upon us the influence of wasting our time by distracting ourselves mentally and ignoring the fact that we are inside of a temporal physical expression. But being intentional with your thinking changes everything. Even this subject, I can recognize that statement of, I don't know, I just feel like from someone else, but what good would that do me? Because I can't change the presentation and the patterns of another person. I can recognize that statement from within myself, and then I can assess what that statement indicates from within me, and then I can make a correction to that behavior, and I have full control over that. So I'd rather focus on that. I'd rather spend my time looking at how that statement applies to me rather than focusing on how that statement has been presented towards me from a reflection of somebody trying to reveal from me through their actions of the inner chaos and conversation of me. I'm big on not getting caught up in the branches, not getting caught up on the little mini details and technicalities, and looking down at the root of problems, because when you assess the root, you can analyze and find a correction for the complete extermination of the issue rather than trimming away the branches and hoping that they don't grow back too fast. The issue at hand is when you don't know who you are, you constantly look for outside guidance because you don't know that inside you have all knowledge embedded in you from birth, just like all mankind. This is a divine gift that was given to all of us that is totally irreversible and irrevocable. There is no way to mess this up, no matter what you do. But the way that we are taught to use our minds, the way that we are taught to manage our bodies, the way that we are taught to govern over our time, and the things that we see with our eyeballs all distract us from this truth and all push us away from this truth and into further into a darkness of illusions, fear, and partnership with concepts like separation, lack, and need. all things that don't even really exist. But with your partnership and your ability to create, your internal system of creation never fails. Whatever you set your attention on, whatever you water with your attention, will grow into a plant within your garden, whether you deem that plant good or bad. That is subjectable. You grew it because you gave attention to it. That's why it's very important that you know who you are, because when you know who you are, you can align your actions to benefit you instead of harming yourself and blaming somebody else for it. But we are not only super elusive, we are really evasive. We spend a lot of time dodging questions that we don't want to answer, running away from conclusions that we're already slightly aware of or have a hint of, but don't want to deal with in the moment. And it's really because we stay bogged down with so much that doesn't matter. Like when you're caught up in your illusionary world and you have so many cares and desires and not wants and inconsistencies and changing, shifting emotions that you don't understand, and you try to use them to guide your life, you find yourself so distracted inside of this sea of darkness that you don't even realize how idiotic some of the things that you say and do come off. That's why it's always good to know what you are and how you work, because once you understand that that legion of voices inside of yourself is birthed of the concoction that you built, your fears and your worries over the course of years that you spent inside of delusion, then you'll understand that that voice may be something that you genuinely hear, but ultimately it was birthed of lies. And if it wasn't for the lies that you partner with, you would have never, ever looked for value in anything that those liars inside of you were saying. It was your ignorance that caused you to partner with things that were destructive only because you felt like they would be beneficial. And you only felt like they would be beneficial because you were dealing inside of the chauffeur method of knowledge. You were allowing somebody else to guide you and tell you what was good, what was right, what was wrong, what was beneficial for you, and what would be detrimental. And based on the collection of opinions and those who had influence in your life as you built your core beliefs, you now operate from a handbook full of rules, do's, don'ts, wants, and dislikes. And that book, that law that you have written in the darkness that is almost illegible to anybody else besides yourself, is the very vein of your existence. It is the cause of all of your disruptances. It is the cause of every disturbance. It is the cause of every discomfort that you experience, because when you encounter things that you have not seen and never experienced, you reach into your definition box, you reach into your core beliefs, and you define these things based upon what you think they are, based upon what you have experienced prior to those moments. So you get locked inside of this presentation when you're constantly saying, I need something new. I'm looking for something new. Everything seems the same. This seems to connect to that. That seems to connect to this. No, it's your lens. It's the same lens. You're using the same dirty, foggy, broken, shattered lens to look at everything, and you break everything that you look at because you don't look at what it is that's in front of you. You're looking at your lens. I can't.